Greetings everyone and welcome to Neon Dynasty Premier Draft. This is also my total draft number 10 of Neon Dynasty, and I will have my first set completion status update. It will be at the end of the video showing my draft performance and how close to complete set I am. Of course, after 10 drafts I'm not that close, but I did get a head start from Decathlon finals, which awarded me one of each card in Neon Dynasty already. So it's gonna be, I only need to kind of collect 3/4 of the set instead of the full set. Alright, so how about this draft pick then? Scrap Welder is... The good thing about this card is that while it is an artifact synergy card, it's a 3-mana 3/3. Not even a double caster, so totally playable 3-drop. You could go with the Goshintai as pick number 1, hoping to get some other shrines, but this is a little bit sketchy to play as a one-off shrine. I think I would play it in most decks. The Fall of Lord Konda is good, Gloomstrigger is interesting. Commons are not that great. I'm feeling like I might try to do something with the Scrap Welder, but you could take one of the white uncommons too if you really want to try the shrines. You could first pick the shrine and then I think the Fall of Lord Konda. The card's name was Fall of Lord Konda, I think. That's also, something you can start a draft with. Alright, so this pack has Invoke Calamity. Not the best invoke. This is not the kind of quadruple caster that actually makes me want to try the mono red deck or a close to mono red deck. Some of the other invokes definitely are worth trying to draft mono red. This is not one of those, so I'm not gonna play that. I'm not gonna pick that at least. Mobilizer mech. It's a bit harsh with crew 3, but it is a 3/4 flyer, so if you have those pilot tokens, pilot wealth tokens, or any way to easily crew a crew 3 vehicle, this is an interesting pick. Just a 2-mana card also, but I think it's rather easy to take the Sokensan Smelter here. The Dokuchi Silencer is also, by the way, fine. There's a couple of interesting green cards at common, also the Fade into Antiquity, but I'll take the Smelter because this is especially great in the artifact deck, and now I have already 2. Both are Goblin Artificers, 2 of really good artifact synergy cards. Now, how good this is depends on what artifacts I specifically am gonna get during the draft, but still, this one, just making artifacts into 3/1s is really good. Is that good enough for me to take an Iron Apprentice here now? Don't think so. There is the Eiganjo Uprising, but this is actually not such an amazing thing. As a finisher, definitely could deal 6 to 8 to even, well, I don't think 10 is realistic, but like 6 damage you can easily get because your guys will have menace for the turn. And haste, of course. And you can play this as a 3-mana 2/2 hasty and vigilance creature, but that's not so great. I don't think I'm gonna take this. If I'm taking a white card, it's going to be the Blade Blizzard Kitsune. There's also Lethal Exploit. And Black-Red can really have those artifact sacrifice things, but damn, I like this card so much. But now, of course, I got here a Life of Toshiro Umezawa. Yeah. I don't think I can not pick this. There's an Ancestor Katana, but I don't have any Samurais or Warriors even, and this is actually unplayable. Well, not maybe totally unplayable, but it's really weak in decks that don't have the 1-mana triggered ability, available because of the wrong creature types. Yeah, I have to take the Life of Toshiro Umezawa. This is really good. It just has to be the pick here. Now, of course, I do now want that. I would have taken the black removal spell instead of the Blade Blizzard Kitsune, but there's also a chance I will still be white and red because look at this pack. There are some black hero, of course. But there are 3 good white cards. And I'm gonna take the Banishing Slash. It's just too good. You don't have to get the Samurai for this card to be good. This is just really good. And now that I took the Blade Blizzard Kitsune, I'm gonna take the Banishing Slash here too. Okay, white is open. Red is, well, at least I see red cards. Not sure how good these are, but I mean, I could be even white-black here. Everything is possible. But based on these picks, I should be white. And what's the best white card? I do like the Befriending the Moths, but not sure how. Well, actually, this doesn't really help. This is not really a synergy card in terms of artifacts and enchantments. I could just take this as an aggressive card, and the Eiganjo exemplar is good, and of course in white-red you will have a human sun samurai, but I'll just take the befriending the mods. I like it quite a bit actually, as long as I am, you know, mostly an aggressive deck. Alright, so there's an Imperial Recovery unit. I do want to have some good stuff for the Sokensan Smelter, definitely. So that's why I may not pick the befriending the mods. How about the Unstoppable Ogre? No, that's not the thing you want to sacrifice on the smelter though. Recovery unit? Does that make any sense? Maybe I just take the other befriending the mods and try to be really aggressive. I'm not sure I like this card that much. But I guess I'll take one over the second befriending mods. This is still in the end like a 4-drop that is, I mean, you can have some other good 4-drops too. It's not like the best possible thing unless you are very sure of being a super aggressive deck. I also see some green, but these are not really worth mentioning. This is like a pretty mediocre quality green cards. Now I'll take the katana here. I don't think the ambitious assault is. If you control a modified creature, I won't be necessarily controlling those. And currently I am at 0 samurai and 0 warrior, so I'm not gonna play the katana. But if this deck will be white and red, then it should be not that hard to get some of those. Alright, am I going to play an explosive entry? I'm not playing the lucky offering, this only kills artifacts. I actually thought for a while that it also kills enchantments. This is a tough pack actually. I don't think I like any of these cards too much. I'll take the explosive entry. Not even sure if I'm gonna main deck that card. Oh, and now these green cards came back. Should I be white-green after all this? There is an Imperial Oath which I wouldn't mind having, but getting these green cards back, I mean even the Fade into Antiquity, makes me feel like I should be white-green instead. I think I like the Tales of Master Ceshiro a little bit better than the Harmonious thing. I think this is a signal that green is open, so hopefully I'm not wrong. Okay, Era of Enlightenment or an Imperial Subduer. Well, this is for the Samurai deck, but I don't really know if I can be a Samurai deck. I'll take the Era of Enlightenment. I do like the 2/2 first tracker quite a bit in the end. Okay, there is now the Unstoppable Ogre, but I think I'll take the Fade into Antiquity. I like to play one of those in my green decks, and yeah, I got a Jukai trainee here quite late. It's also a Samurai, by the way. Okay, these things came back. Coming off. Nah, I'll take this, but I'm actually more likely to be green-white. Maybe I should put this here. Okay, Ogre Head Helm, but that's not the only good card in the pack. Well, okay, this pack is really wild. So first of all, this rare is amazing. This is a really amazing rare. 2 mana 2/2 with a very nice ability, and then of course the reconfigure. It's a bit expensive, but it gives +2/+2, and then of course when you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, you can just, you know, turn creatures into 3 fresh cards. That's amazing, and the stat boost is relevant. So that could be picked. Goshintai could be picked. Intercessor's Arrest could be picked, and there's a nice black card too in Twisted Embrace. Also a very good colorless card. So that's a lot of options. Having picked these green cards, should I move back to white-red? Goshintai is quite good. I think I like the reason I'm picking the green card here, and I do understand that red could be open to this direction because I don't think I passed any good red, really. But since green was open in the previous pack, I'm expecting the red not to be open in pack 3. So I didn't take the great rare, I just took the green card because I feel like I should maybe be green-white in this deck. And here I can just take the Roaring Earth, which is quite decent actually. And cut the red, cut the black. Oh, I now definitely will take the Goshinta, assuming this pack doesn't have something crazy good. Now there is a Kami's Flare. If I didn't make the decision to go green-white, I mean, there's a chance to still be, but now I mean, if I took the Ghost inside the green version and now I'm given the white version, how can I not take it? I'm gonna take it. I want to have them both on the battlefield and enjoy my time. Alright, so why is a colorless pretty darn good equipment in pick 4 here? I don't care, I take it here. There's two good green cards still. And actually the red cards that come to my direction, they are not even that amazing. I like my decision to go green-white here, but they're Eater of Virtue. This is really good. I wouldn't mind having either of these green cards either, but there's no way I'm gonna pass this up. What's the... Okay, this thing has Vigilance as a 1-3. Yeah. Well, not the best stuff there, but with the green shrine, that still seems like something I definitely want to be doing. Alright, so I do need some early drops here. I guess I have some. I also want to have some number of artifacts and enchantments because I do have one of the payoff cards, this Banishing Slash. Like I said, I don't have to have it, but it's nice still to be. Alright, I think I will take for that reason the hover bike though. I quite like this. It's a 2-2 flyer, crew 1 is not the problem, and sometimes the tap ability can be nice, and sometimes you might even play the flash creature and be able to crew it so that you can eat like a very small creature without losing the hover bike, or just trading with something you want to trade. Okay, here the Wanderer's Intervention is like okay. Also like the Crater Tanuki. I still like the Coiling Stalker as well. Osari Captain would have been good if I went the white-red route. It's gonna be one of these 3 cards that are white or green. Need to make a decision quite soon. I think I'll take 1 cheap removal because I don't have much of that, at least now. I don't have the green, what's the Master's Rebuke or whatever it is. For example, I don't have that, so I feel like I wanted to have the cheap removal spell. Okay, Yukai Preserver. And I also passed the pacifism variant. I took a Ghost into half Boundless Vigor over it. But yeah, here it's pretty easy. Yukai Preserver. That's a nice 4-drop. For sure. This is bad. Not limited playable at all. So I'm not taking that. How about the 7-tail Mentor here? Crafted Growth. I don't need modified creatures that badly. Or mana fixing or mana accelerating. I'm not taking that. I'll take the Mentor. I don't think it's that good. It's probably going to be cut, but I'll take it for now. Okay, I like maybe the Jukai Trainee a bit more than the Era of Enlightenment. 7 enchantments, 4 artifacts, if I play them all. Yeah, I'll take the Samurai. Also, that maybe allows me to play the Katana. I'm not sure if I am really there yet. 3 Samurais, no Warriors. I'm not there yet. Alright, so... whatever. Moth Rider Patrol, it is a warrior. Also, it's a nice card with ninjas, which I don't think I have too many of actually. Only the Double Striker, is that right? Yeah, I saw the green 2-drop ninjas. I'll take it anyway, but I saw those green 2-drop ninjas, but I just didn't pick them, apparently. Kitsune Ace. I have some vehicles. Let's see if this is gonna be a playable card or not. I got the Crater Tanuki back at pick number 12. Pick number 14, I mean. Okay, wow, I could have had 2 of these Ogre Head Helms in the deck if I went that route. Not that I'm very sad about this deck, I quite like that deck. So some creatures, maybe 3 mana creatures would be nice. So this cares about enchantment creatures and legendary creatures. I have a few enchantment creatures here. There's a guide bot too, which I don't think is that bad actually. Yeah, I'm not taking the trick. How many ways do I have to have modified things? Now this does modify a creature by itself. I think I'll take it. I have a good experience from the card, and it's not like this pack has too many options. I'm not necessarily needing multiples of those. Oh, what happened? Well, I got the card I wanted. Yeah, right. So here Invoke Justice is, of course, this is one of the invokes that is worth drafting a mostly monocolor deck, but the quadruple white is too nasty here. I'm not going to be able to. I would need to play like 12, 13 planes in the deck, and I don't want that would mess up with my green stuff here, so I'm not doing that. I think I will take the Subduer. I am still having the chance to get the Samurai Warrior, enough of them that makes these effects good, and maybe play the and just a Katana as well. The Boon of Boseiju, Safekeeping, and the Authority here, they are fine picks, but I'll take the Subduer. And here, another Jukai Preserver, which I think is the pick here. Yeah, I just like it. I like it quite a bit. I do have some 4-drops here, but I don't think I'm necessarily playing the 7-tail Mentor here. This is just a better one that, you know, it comes with a +1/+1 counter. Yep, let's take it. Spinning Wheel Kick. Eiganjo Exemplar. Mana Fixing. I don't have any land yet, but I also like the Eiganjo Exemplar. The Spinning Wheel Kick is like, it starts to be, it can be good at 6 mana. At 4 mana it's just so much worse. Master's Rebuke. There's also Ninja's Kunai, which is not actually bad, but I feel like I might want to have a creature here still. Also, this is a samurai. Let's have like a slight samurai theme in the deck. Fine, I'll take it. And there's another Tales of Master Seshiro. Careful Cultivation gives me a 1/1 token that gives me the mana, but no, I like these Tales a little bit more. Let's take that. Okay, now I think actually a tough choice here, because there are multiple cards I'm happy to have here. The Spirited Companion, even another Subduer, the Master's Rebuke, but I think I have so many cards here, and most of them are things I'm willing to just play in the main deck. And this is a premier draft, so that's the only deck I'm gonna have here, no sideboarding. But I like these, especially these fixing lands that do tap for both of my colors. I'll take the Blossoming Sands, even though that pack had cards I could easily play in the deck, but I have enough playables. I just want to make my mana better when I can do it like quite freely. Alright, so Boon of the Boseiju. I have some expensive cards. Can be doing a lot of work for me. Do I care about it though? Don't care about necessarily about this, but I guess I'll take these. I do have these 5-drops and the 6-drop. Maybe it makes sense. Oh wow, I get the Touch of the Spirit Realm here. And also another, oh wow, this is, like I said, the decision to stick to green-white in pack 2 was because I assume these colors will be open in pack 3, and look at this. I have all these good options, but I have to take the removal spell. That's just way too good to pass up. Okay, well, there's a Greater Tanuki. With 2 Tales of Master Seshiro, though, I think I won't be playing 2 of them. I'll just take the random uncommon here for World Progress. And now there's a Boon of Boseiju and a Tamiya Safekeeping. I like them both, but maybe I like the aggressive card a little bit more. If I have room for it. It's possible I won't have room for it. Now Brute Suit. Actually something I could play here. I have enough expensive cards. I don't need these Harmonious Emergence, and this is going to make it slightly easier to get value from additional value from the Banishing Slash. So I'll take the vehicle, but I'm still not sure if I'm gonna play it. It does synergize with the Kitsune Ace though. This doesn't matter. Another Careful Cultivation. This is a best of 1 draft, so I'm not playing the Lucky Offering, not the sideboard option there. So let's take this, but I don't think I'm going to actually play 2 of them. What is this? I am going to play a Master's Rebuke. This was the pack from which I took the green-white land, I think. Wow. Okay, well, there's no green or white in there, so what is the deck going to be like? I'm going to cut the 7-tail Mentor as a first thing to cut. And now, this will be a 17 land deck. What am I going to cut here? First of all, let's see how many warriors and samurai I have. That's a total of 5. That's maybe not enough for the katana. I already have another equipment which is much better. I will cut the katana. Not enough. Not enough relevant creature types for that thing. And then how many 2-drops I have here? I mean creatures. I guess I should do it like this. 1, 2. Well, I can count this as a creature because it will turn into one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I don't need the decoy. I can just cut it. Only these 3-drops. I think I will play the Subduer. It does work by itself at least. And I have some, cheap samurais that I can combine with it. I'm not sure about the guideboard now. Do I want to have that kind of card draw? It seems a bit unnecessary because I don't have a heavy modified theme in the deck, so it seems like an easy card actually. One of the... I can play one of Tanuki here. And this is now... how many vehicles? It is 3 vehicles. So now the enchantment count is at 14. Wow. Artifact count is only at 4, so I don't expect to get a samurai that often. But it's still possible. But now that it is quite unlikely to get it, I maybe shouldn't play the kind of less impressive vehicles here. Although I think I will play the recovery unit given that I have quite a few. Wait a minute, this returns a creature or vehicle card, so it does not return the Era of Enlightenment, but it does return the other 2-drops here, including the high-speed hoverbike. Okay. So if I'm gonna play all these from the upper floor here, so to say, I will maybe... Okay, let's see. Well, there's a careful cultivation. I don't play actually 2 of them. I will play one of them. It should be here in the creature type slot, but it doesn't actually. Can't put it there. Does it work like this? No, it doesn't give me multiple options here. I haven't really played around with this filter too much here. All right, so yeah, maybe one cultivation makes sense because I do have these 5-drops here. Also, playing these 4-mana cards on turn 3 is nice, so I'll play it. And Roaring Earth, it's kind of a situational card because, of course, if you play it on turn 2 and you have a lot of creatures in your deck, it's quite easy to get a lot of counters from it. Very nice landfall effect, and in the very late game, the channel option will be nice. The problem with this card is that it's not so great in the very middle part of the game when you don't really know how many. Let's say you have 1 land in your hand on turn 4 and a Roaring Earth. Now, yeah, the remaining lands will turn into +1/+1 counters, but is that worth a card? And then it's kind of early to use the channel option as well. So I'm actually a bit down on this card compared to what I initially thought about it. And I think it's most valuable in decks that care about the modified creatures, and I don't really care about it. So I'm gonna make the decision to not even play this in this deck. I have here ways to put counters on my guys, enhance them, and have big threats late in the game. So I feel like this is a kind of a redundant effect. I don't need the inconsistency this card brings because, like I said, it won't always be the greatest possible play that you can do during a turn. And I think the brute suit goes away, but I will play the recovery unit. I have maybe just about enough things to return back. Fade into Antiquity. I like to play it. It should find a reasonable target. You can choose either artifact or an enchantment. And then now it starts to get harder. I do like the intervention here. That is 15 creatures. I just counted the upper. I mean this row here, or these rows here. That is 15 creatures, because this is a bit. This count is bad in this Kamigawa Neon Dynasty because the sagas don't count there, so I have to just manually check it out, the number of creatures, and it is 3, 7, 9, 10 plus whatever are here. That's actually at 16 in fact here. Alright, plus then there are the vehicles which kind of, act as creatures. But what are the cards? I think this is still going to be... Yeah, with these expensive cards, it's going to be a 17 land deck. Man, this is actually kind of tough. I wouldn't want to cut the Boon of Boseiju. Do I have to? How about the Kitsune Ace, actually? I have two vehicles. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that. It's not good enough. I still have enough early game here. Especially because the cultivation is also something I can... And I easily want to do it on turn 2 and the hoverbike too. Yeah, so that is an easy cut, but now still 2 more. It's gonna be a bit hard here because I do like the... I think the Boon of Boseiju might just be one of the cuts. Now, do I care about the Mortuary Patrol? That is an actual question I should ask myself. Because when I don't have the Katana in the deck, this becomes suddenly quite a bit worse. It is good still with the Eater of Virtue, but it is just... and the tap ability is very expensive. I think I will cut the Patrol actually. That is the cut I should have made a bit earlier. It feels like that actually. But now there is still one card to cut unless I really choose to play 16 lands. But it kind of feels weird with these expensive cards in here. I do have, for example, four mana cards, even though this can be used for channel option is 3 mana only, but I'd prefer to have the creature instead. Yeah, this is... I mean, the cut to make here is gonna be either Boon of Boseiju or like the Imperial Recovery unit or one of the creatures, but I don't really feel like cutting any of those creatures. Maybe it is the Recovery unit. It's not really that amazing in the end. A 3 mana 3/4 with crew 2 is not... The vehicle side of this thing is not so great, but the fact that you can get some cards back is... But maybe with the cuts I made, it's not really that great anymore. I'm gonna cut the Recovery unit. It was a bit tough to find the cuts, but I think that's about right now. So this is a green-white deck, but it actually doesn't have enchantment synergies. It's just kind of a beatdown maybe. Well, it's a mid-range deck too. We will see how it goes, but I think that build is fine here. I like the Boon of Boseiju just to have the option to continue attacking even if the opponent has a little bit bigger creatures, and it's also a little bit of a trick because it does untap the target, and also it can do some massive damage given my expensive cards that I could have on the battlefield when I cast that. Alright, so now I take the Blossoming Sands here, and it's gonna be pretty easily 8+8 basic lands here. Alright, that is the deck. Hopefully I get to enjoy these shrines by having both of them on the battlefield. Having them on my end step so that I can get both of triggers happening and pay for them. Okay, what's this? Well, I guess with the Scry 2 I can keep it. It's one of the good part of the Era of Enlightenment, and also the blue 2 mana Saga, which has the the looting ability. It keeping hands with those castable on turn 2 makes it easier to hit whatever you happen to need. So now I basically have to just dig into forests here. The fact I drew these plains is quite annoying actually. Another white green, okay. Wow, there is a Banishing Slash, but I mean, next turn I will play the Subduer, but oh man, Slash is really good, but I actually have to get to I have to get to the green mana. I have 9 cards that can produce green mana by themselves. I have also the thing that I can discard for a green mana producing thing, but that channel cost I think requires... Okay, requires channel cost requires a green. Okay, I did get the forest, but now the Techwrecker is the card I used to dominate a bit in my previous draft. Now I get to face it. Now there's no problem with it if I get to block it, and I have 2 creatures I can use to block it. I'm just thinking which I'm gonna play. So of course I have the Subduer and the Trainee both can, you know, block the Techwrecker and trade with it. If they deal with my creature, well then I potentially lose my 2/2 first striker, but that's just how it goes. The thing is that I can use these two. On turn 5 I can play the Subduer and I don't know really. I guess I'll play the green card, mostly because I have only 1 green source, so even though it's less efficient use of mana, this would have used all 3. I want to use my colored mana more efficiently too. So let's say I draw another 3/2 mana card on the next turn. I still can't cast them both. Because I don't have more than 1 forest. Okay, so they can grow the Techwrecker. Now this is annoying. So I'm gonna lose the Era of Enlightenment now. I mean, I can also jump block with this, but why would I? At least this makes them use the Death Touch counter. Yeah, this is a really good card. Okay, another Trainee now. Now it's just a 2/4. Let's attack. I think, again, next turn I can play the Subduer and the Rebuke, so I should play this thing now instead. Now, if something would be very useful, the Banishing Slash would be, but I had to scry to the bottom because I didn't have the forests. So of course I'm now just taking quite a beating here, and I even drew a completely irrelevant thing there. Yeah, this is... I think this is quite bad. Opponent has 2 big stuff going on there. I can double block it, it will be a 4/6. I can double block with the Yukai Trainees. Well, I have to do that. Or maybe they give it the counter on the 1/1, but... Let's see what they're gonna do. If they have some kind of trick, I guess I do have the Rebuke here. I mean, if this works, they only trade with 1 of the Trainees, so I'm assuming they have something. I guess I could have put the Subduer there too, they still could only kill 1 of them. Yeah, that was probably a mistake because they have that. Alright. Well, no, I can... Okay, fine. They do that, and then this Bushido resolves, yep. And I guess I'm gonna do like this then. If they have more tricks there, then I can concede the game. Because this is too much. Yeah. They're gonna get the 5/5 on the next turn, and they have a what, 4/6, I have a 3/2 with 2 players in my hand. I can't draw anything that works there. Okay, this is very nice actually. Turn 3 Yukai Preserver most likely, because I'm definitely making a 1/1 token here with the 4 and 5 drops in my hand. There's no reason to play this on turn 2 if it's not even. Okay, well that is annoying. They're gonna be able to... Okay, so didn't want to see this particular thing. They're gonna get some value out of a ninja. I think it's still not so big deal. Because of course I can use the Hoverback to, you know, tap it, but then my turn 3 won't be really that good. I could play the Koshintai, give it a count. I guess with the land draw it's a little bit different now. Either way I'm gonna pass the turn here. But with the land draw it is a little bit different, because now I can play the Koshintai, give it a counter, and then on the next turn, okay, I'm actually choosing this after all. just to prevent any ninjas happening from there. Okay, that can make this into a 3-3. So now the question is, do I want to attack with this thing? If they make it into a 3-3, I guess then they don't want to return it to their hand. So I will just not attack with that thing. I will use the hoverbike to block instead. Of course, I'm not gonna use the shrine to block because that can pick up more counters. I'm happy to trade the hoverbike on the ninja master here. If they allow that. The terrarium ability is just a it's a sorcery speed, so they can't use that mid-combat to keep it a counter. But they can have a suit up, okay? That at least took, you know, 3 of their mana. They have a ninja's kunai though. This has trample, so I could actually give it the Ether of Virtue permanent trample because I assume this is gonna die. And now I have the 5th. Maybe it's not gonna die. Either way, I think I'll just play the Yukai Preserver because I want to have 2 creatures so that when I play the Tales of Master Cesaro, at least it can still give a counter to someone else. And I'm gonna give the counter to itself so that if they use the kunai, they can kill the 2-2. Yeah, it's time to attack now. Yeah, I do like the suit up. It is, of course, it's a lot of mana, but you do need a card. So what the opponent did there, they used 3 mana to get rid of the hoverbike without losing a card, because it replaced itself. They have a Gozinta which can destroy small toughness creatures. Hopefully they don't have more of those shrines around. But the Death Toucher means it will trade with the Yukai Preserver. Or maybe... I mean, not exactly liking about this situation. Yeah, the Death Toucher is annoying for sure. I do want to play the Tales of Master Cesaro, but this could mean that I'm losing my... Maybe I just don't do this thing. This is tough. This is actually really tough. I have multiple things I could do here. I think I'm gonna do this anyway. That allows me to get the 5-5 at some point, and here I just do it like this. I don't like because the ninja's kunai can kill it anyway. Maybe I'll do it like this instead. It's just not so great because the Death Toucher will be... Man, this is so tough. I'm gonna not get value out of this. I can make a 1-1, you know, before my... Okay, I'm gonna actually do it like this. I put a stop there. Yeah, do I trade with the thing? Force them to use the ninja's kunai. I don't really like it, but... Okay, they don't even want to. Well, now I'm a bit worried what they might have. Do they have a ninja? Oh, they wanted to have an enchantment to draw a card from that. Now that is understandable. And they can kill now the Gozinta hand. Okay. So now with the 2... Because now, well, first of all I go to draw step. Okay, touch the Spirit Realm. Well, I can get rid of the Gozinta now. Okay, now it's good. Because I could have made a 1-1 and given the counter to that one. But now that I get rid of this thing, it's definitely what am I going to do? And I think I should keep the one place in my hand just in case they have the discard a card thing. Because I'm gonna use 2 mana here too. I can't use the careful cultivation. I guess they could have the discard 2 cards thing too, but then they do. +1/+3 is not so great. This is more like a 2-drop in this deck. But yeah, I will be getting the Tales of Master Cesiro now. It's a 5/5. Dokuchi's Shadow Walker, 6/6 with the pump effect, of course. Alright, Imperial Subduer, but I don't have... these are not warriors or samurais. Snake? What? This is a snake warrior. Now there's a thing I didn't expect to happen. It's an actual warrior. Jeez, it works with the Subduer. Okay, that's fantastic. Now I should do this. Wow. Amazing. That was amazing. They don't want to go to 1, so they will jump block. They can... that's totally fine too. That is totally fine. This doesn't give anything exciting as an instant speed effect, so let's do that. They can still make this into a 6/6, but I can, you know, move the Eater of Virtue there. I will want to leave the option open to instantly make a 1/1, because I don't think I'm gonna use the +1/+3 mode. It is possible though, but I need to see information about their turn first. And the Subduer can also attack alone as a 5 power creature when I equip this thing. So this says that as long as a card exiled with the Eater of Virtue has flying, but it doesn't count the backside. Okay, so they have a 3/2 there. Okay, so they're gonna get probably the enchantment that destroys a target creature. Yep, Twisted Embrace. Alright, so that does mean what exactly? It does mean that I'm not gonna use any mode of this cultivation yet. I might still need either of those modes. Alright, so here I'm probably going to be, because they're gonna use this to kill the 5/5 maybe. I could attack with both actually. Use the intervention on that thing. Then they won't even have a target for this effect if they block with. That's also something. I could make it this guy into a 6/5 also, but no, then it will just trade with that. That makes no sense. I could make this guy into a... but no, when they have the Twisted Embrace, that makes no sense. I'm gonna attack with both and get rid of the Shrine Steward and hope that they maybe block with both or something like that. I think they don't want to take 5 damage here, so... the thing here is that... now this is a trade, but it was something that just had to happen. If they have a cheap creature, they can still, you know, kill the Subduer here. But at least I can still play the cultivation and it will be a 3/1 thing. I mean, I can channel it. That's the point. Yeah, that is... oh man, that's... them having a 1/4. That's horrible. Okay, well now this is a lot worse. This is a lot worse now. Not even sure if I... yeah, they had all the stuff they needed here. And even they can start scrying around with that thing. I think now I'm gonna just do this anyway, but hope to maybe draw something. Good. Sadly I don't get to... I can make it 4 power creature. Did they have to have a 3 mana 4 toughness creature there? No, not... this draw was still very good. I'm not... I mean, it's definitely a good draw there, but... yeah, I had to make it also, you know, I have to keep the counter to the creature itself. because they can make it into this into a 3/6 with the terrarium. So hopefully they don't have more removal spells. That's just a life linker, okay. Do they want to scry here? They can make this guy into a 4 power guy though. They don't want to scry. Oh, wait a minute, they didn't use the terrarium, so they must have something else then. If they're gonna double block, that's totally fine, because I will trade with this puzzle maker. No big deal. They will gain 3 life, but that's kind of something I can't help. Now they are having something, but it's not like I have a lot of options here myself. Yeah, okay, now I'll see what the final card in their hand is if they just block with that one guy. Now this... Yeah, I think the Shrine Steward can be another suit up. Well, they like those cards, man. That's a second copy of that thing. Alright then, and they add... So what this does have no abilities, right? No. From the Ether of Virtue. It hasn't exiled anything that's, you know... Yeah, nope. Oh, they have a... Am I gonna go 0-2 start in this draft now? Look at the opponent, they just draw relevant things here. I need my 6-5 or something like that. Maybe the White Shrine. They of course don't have... The problem, I wouldn't be so sad about the situation if they didn't have the Scry, because the Scry is gonna be powerful for them. This... Alright, this actually gets the double strike. Now this is something good. Imagine if I had a creature here, by the way. I could double strike here nicely, but anyway. If this gets killed in a regular way, the Ether of Virtue will have a permanent double strike. And that's of course a hugely relevant effect. But they can gain now life, I guess they might choose to do that. Yeah, they are back to what, 13, because they got so much life from the Mukotai thing. Okay, they definitely... But their problem is still the scrying thing will improve their draws quite a bit. Not a fan of that. Do they want to trade it? This is representing 8 damage. Sadly no tricks there, but I'm gonna be willing to trade with that thing. They still have a couple of creatures coming up, but now the Ether of Virtue is even better. But I need to draw a creature first. But +2/+0 and double strike. But they have a 2/3 and a 2/2 now. That is gonna be a fast clock if I don't draw any creatures. Well, any creature is good, including this. Okay, well, let's raise here then. They can't double block. If they have only lands in hand, they can't block it because the Bushido means that I can kill them both with the first strike damage there. That is actually not good enough. Wonder why they didn't attack with this on the previous turn. It has menace, by the way. That's the reason. Okay, so now this is of course great. But they seem to have only lands in their hand because they would have used those cards, of course. Otherwise, so now they are facing here. Okay, Modern Age, they get to loot now. They definitely discard a land here. Can't imagine them holding anything else. So what? So this is the card for their turn, and now they drew some other card, which is a Papercraft Decoy. Which means that, okay, they can race with this thing. I can attack with both, and they actually... Oh, Banishing Light. I have an artifact and an enchantment, so I'm gonna get my Samurai with this thing. Tapped creature. So if I exile I mean, I can exile either of these. The other one is an artifact, the other one is an enchantment. This is a leaves the battlefield, so it doesn't. They will get to draw a card anyway. But of course, if they don't draw anything good, they will just lose. So. No. They actually I was wrong. Okay. With the double strike. Wow, this is actually interesting. I should move this away because now they can block the double striker, draw a card for 2 mana before I have dealt the regular damage. I'm gonna move this away so I can attack with just these guys. Because the Bushido means that they won't trade anyway. They need to have now something before damage gets dealt. Yep. Because if I did so that the Ether of Virtue would be... They like I said, they block the double strike one. And they get to draw something before the other attacker deals its damage. So it was definitely worth moving away from these guys. And the double strike creature in my deck is also one good reason to have the Boon of Boseiju, because that can be pretty amazing boost of damage. Alright, I'm on the play with a pretty decent hand, only one creature, but I have colors so at least work. The number of lands is okay, and if I draw more lands I can play the 5-drop, so it doesn't matter. If I draw spells, that's also good. Now this doesn't, by the way, exile. I don't know why I said it exiles, but of course it doesn't. Okay, this is gonna go away. Most likely if I don't draw other things to play. 3 colors, what do they discard? Probably a spell because they are thinking about it that long. So that's a Greater Tanuki. Yep, I will just get rid of this thing that will become... They will get a loot and also it will be a 2-3 flyer. I don't have to care about that. And next turn I can play the Goshintai, but I don't of course have the mana for it, but at least it's played. Oh, maybe... Okay. Okay, what to do? I do want to get rid of that. I have 2 cards that can do it. Safer way is to just play the intervention here. Touch the Spirit Realm is, you know, I can't get anything. Now they are tapped out. This is like a low risk situation. Not optimal use of mana, but I also don't want to this 3-4 to be around. So I will use the intervention here. Mostly because I do have the other, you know, the other removal spell too. And if they just don't block, I don't mind. I play the Goshintai in that case. Okay. All I need now is the green shrine. That would be sweet. But I mean, I'm actually happy to draw land too. But okay, they have another Modern Age there. Quite slow, but I mean, they have only up to 2 mana available for this turn. After this, okay, another Tanuki goes away. Oh, this is a samurai. Huh, this works very nicely. I can attack with this being a 3-3 with the, you know, the ability it has. Even a backup. I can even have the intervention in there. So this is gonna deal 4 to them. Sorry, 3 to them. And there's no... I mean, I can just make a spirit token then. I don't need to keep the mana up. There is the channel version for this card too, but definitely I want to take the spirit here now. You never know if it's gonna be relevant. Okay, they have discarded a lot of these creatures here. Teachings of the Kirin is the one that is gonna give them a 1-1 and then they get a counter of some kind. Is this 4 colors? Yes, it is. I haven't seen white yet. There's a blue, red, green, white at least. But it's like a base green, as you can see. Base blue, green, splashing, whatever. Fade into antiquity. Okay, they didn't want to see that. Which is totally fine, because now my Tales of Master Hero is gonna be a lot better. Yep. I can even give this thing a counter because it will be with the Eiganjo exemplar, it will attack as a 4/4 and it becomes a 5/5 if it blocks, if it gets blocked. So this is just great. Also vigilance, just in case I need to block something they might have. So now they get to put a counter on one. Okay, I think that might be a reason to use the touch the spirit realm on it, unless they do, you know, get something even bigger. Okay, so who's gonna get the counter from there? Could be the flyer, could be the preserver itself. If it's the guardians of Oboro, that makes my, you know, touch even better. Okay, that's really good. So who's gonna, am I gonna put all the eggs in the same basket? I could also put it on the Eiganjo exemplar. Nah, let's put it here. They can triple block it, but it's horrible for them because I have the Wanderer's Intervention. They chose to do just that, understandably. Next turn I have a 5/5 also coming, which is a warrior, so it gets the benefit from the exemplar. That's gonna bounce a thing. Yeah, that's a really good rare. Then they are gonna draw a card, or they have to return an artifact from the graveyard if they have one, but they don't, so they get to draw a card on the next turn. But now they have to worry about this 5/5. Oh, and Eater of Virtue. Let's make them, you know, keep them jump blocking. There's not really a reason to attack with anyone else than this. They're gonna take 8 while they're gonna actually jump block. Oh, maybe they triple block. That. Yeah, because this will be 8/6 now. So they would have to triple block if they want to try to, you know, kill it. But they just can just block with the 1/1, which is still good for me. Of course, the triple block will, you know, fail because of the intervention, unless they have something for one mana. They could have the thing that makes a thing indestructible. Oh, that's actually true. If they respond with a thing that makes a thing indestructible, which do I want them to? Which of them should survive? I think it's the Kirin touched Orochi then, because it doesn't matter which of these I kill. I mean, they could have the 1 mana shock variant too, in which case I should kill the preserver. But I think I like the idea to kill this thing, because if they have nothing, then this will survive. And if they have the thing that keeps indestructible and hexproof, I'd rather let this guy survive alone. Okay, they had nothing. And then I guess I'm not gonna play around any wrath effects. I don't think these colors even have a wrath effect. So I play all my stuff here. They go to draw a card and they need to have something pretty good now. That is good, but it's also... Well, they can return a 3 mana thing here. Okay, well that's definitely good. They do have to return a... Okay, well that's gonna repeatedly give them artifacts and enchantments back. They do have to return a land. But they have lands. They can do it every turn. They choose the 1/1 because they're gonna just jump block. Okay, well there's a hover bike, which means that they are forced to... They are not quite forced to... Can I attack with... Can I mean, if I just can make it so that they have to block with this guy. So if I move the Eater of Virtue on the 1/1, then this won't get the pump effect. I will tap down the 1/1 here. So this is gonna be 3, 10. No, they can exactly block the exemplar. Darn it. Oh, but if I put... but they can't block the 1/1. So if I put the Eater of Virtue on the exemplar and then attack with everything and tap down the 1/1, if they block the 1/1 with the Tameshi, they take 4, they take exactly 11 in that case. So they can't do that. Now I forced the trade, which is all I need here. And I will of course have the flyer too. They will block the exemplar now. And take 8 damage. And if they block the trainee, this becomes a 3/3. So yeah, this is exactly. And that was a good draw. That was definitely a good draw. Who's gonna get this? None of these have any abilities that are gonna be relevant, so maybe whatever. Don't think it matters really. Now they get the counter here, they get the flyer from this saga, that is the rare one. So I'm not really... Yeah, they can still stabilize because they have 3 cards in their hand. But they... Okay, well that is another good draw. So I can just attack with... I will try doing this. And this card has flying, by the way. It doesn't even have to be a creature card. As long as a card exiled with this thing has flying. Yeah, so this Eater of Virtue becomes a really good one now. And I have this trick available. I could play this pre-combat giving counter, but I like to have a plus, those counter, counter distributing trick available instead. Because I don't know what they have in their hand. They could be having many things there. Jump there, trade there, that is totally reasonable, I don't mind. Okay, they had nothing, and now the Virtue gives flying, which is huge. Should I play this thing? I'm gonna play it. And this thing gets the counter, I think. Now every guy I have is a lethal attacker now. So I don't know what they're holding in their hand, but it seems like it's mostly like flooding out. Or hey, who knows, it's possible that they were holding black cards in there and they actually played 5 colors. But I'm guessing it's lands. But it doesn't matter what I'm guessing. Game is over. This is a little bit nastier because now I do have the scry fixing, but I would need to have planes for that. But I have a trainee and the Virtue. If I draw planes, I will have both this and the good removal spell, so I think I'll keep it. I can also just draw green creature cards, I mean any green cards. So I think it's a keep, but it's of course a bit, risky. But sometimes you have to take risks. Okay, that at least is something I can play with the lands I have available. Black and white. Okay, 1-drop, 2-drop. 1-mana 2-1 with into an evasive 2-drop. But this can block the 1/2/1 here, so that's the good part in here. Let's see if they have a ninja coming up from the infiltrator. Okay, 3rd color. Hey, come on, that's unfair. If you have 3 basics, I have only 1 kind here. I wonder why they did it that way. I feel like they should have attacked with the mechanic into this and then give this guy -1/-1 to kill it. But they didn't do that, and I happened to draw my thing here. I'm happy about that. So By the thing I mean, of course, the planes. They just gave this. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have to do this. Yeah, let's cry. If there's another planes, I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it. Definitely not the forest. I don't. Well, no, I have one double caster white spell, the uncommon removal spell. Okay, I'll keep the one planes just in case. I just hope I don't draw immediately a land after that. So I could raise here, but it's a lot of damage I'm taking. 5 maybe. Okay, I'm taking 3 in the air based on what they chose to do on the previous turn. I'm not gonna block here. This plays also guarantees one thing, and it is that next turn I can play the Preserver. Well, that was happening anyway. But turn 5 now, if I want to play the Touch, the Spirit Realm, and the Master's Rebuke. The 5th land guarantees that. Could be relevant. I also have 2 5 mana cards in the deck and 1 6 mana card, so the land isn't totally unnecessary. Are they really gonna go for the... Wow. I'm kinda happy to see that. That must mean they have mostly... I guess they could have all 5 mana cards in their hand, I suppose, but this is all fine now. So now it's time to start attacking with this guy. I think the Preserver gets the counter itself. Maybe? Does it? Yeah, it gets it itself. Next turn I also will have my 2/2 first striker. So the hotshot mechanic doesn't really do much here. I'm wondering why they didn't go for that. Maybe they didn't see what they could do. Attack this into my Bushido guy and then give it this -1/-1/-1 with the Saga. They chose to deal 2 extra damage instead. I'm not too worried about the Infiltrator, especially if they continue, activating its ability. Not this time though. It's a ninja time now. Is it a bounce ninja or is it a card draw ninja or something different? Lifelinker. But they had to... Okay, they have another swamp, so they do have that now. So there's my 2/2 first striker. So in the ground they don't really have any good attacks now. In the air they do have this one guy, but I can kill it. But I guess it's... How do I do this? I guess I can take this like... Although they might have more ninjas, but then again, I kind of want to just attack with a lot of these guys now. I won't have the... if I play the 4 mana card, I won't have anything else there. But no, I'm gonna do this. This could be a little bit risky, but I hope I don't get punished yet too much. I want to, actually raise them. If they double block there, I'm fine with the double block. Plus I do have the Master's Rebuke, which, can make them... I mean, it will punish the double block, so wasn't really that worried. Plus, of course, this channel option was also a thing, and this also can do... Yeah, there was a lot of options there. But yeah, let's do this. This gets the counter. It could also give the counter to the Hand of Enlightenment, though. No, maybe that makes sense. Let's give it. And I move it on the first striker, because that way if the hand dies, I will have the permanent first strike for the... No, actually that's wrong. It doesn't work. It's a Saga, so the front side doesn't have first strike, and the Eater of Virtue doesn't look at the back sides of the cards. At least I don't think it does. Okay, more ninjas or a 4 mana activation or nothing. Don't make me regret not leaving up mana for removal here. So they do have a ninja there. Oh, maybe just a 4 mana activation. I can go to 6, I think. Don't have the mythic rare ninja. No, they had to. Forgot this is in the format even. I go to 4 now. Sure. But I have, of course, ways to deal with all that. Plus. Wow. I don't think I can quite make a lethal attack here, but I do have here some good options now. Because this turn I don't think I'm gonna worry about the Kitsune thing. Let's say if I attack with everything, is there a chance they are gonna make... Because I can make some unblocked attacker into basically 4 damage dealing, but they have a life linker, so I don't think that's gonna happen. But I think what I'm doing is I'm gonna definitely kill this Shadow Walker with the touch the spiritual and then most likely use the Master's Rebuke on something else. So I'm gonna do it like this. Attack with the 9 power total here. And then see how they block. They might just not block anything. Double block is great because especially this way I can use the rebuke here. Rebuke to they are tapped out, so nothing matters really. So this can kill the lifelinker first. But they actually are not tapped out. They have 1 black mana available. But that wasn't doing anything. One thing actually I did miss, that the Inkrise Infiltrator is a thing. Oh man. Do I have to actually exile that thing? Yeah, I kind of forgot that. I mean, even if they have a land drop, they can't deal more than 3, which puts me to 1. I guess either way I will lose to a trick, because if I exile the flyer and they kill, no, I can still jump block the Dokuchi Shadow Walker if I need to, and I have a lethal counter attack, of course. Man, this actually turned quite interesting now. I can also re-equip the Eater of Virtue on one of these guys and then use the channel mode here, but I don't like that. Okay, this is now interesting. So what they can have the 1 mana, black 1 mana common Saga, which drains 1 life. They can attack for 3 in the air and then use that. I guess I'll exile the flyer instead. Man, I mean, they have to deal with both of my ground guys, and if they can do that, I think I was losing anyway. They could have the thing that for channel taps 2 creatures down. Yeah, and then if I exiled this instead of the flyer, I wouldn't have died because they would have had no mana to use the activated ability. I mean, now it really depends on what's the stuff they have in their hand. So I couldn't play around everything. I chose to play around the thing that makes me, lose 1 life for 1 black mana. I played around that, and by doing that, I allowed them to have some other options that allows them to win with the 5/5. Because if I can't block it, then it's game over. So it was just a guessing game actually. But since I'm tapped out and they are thinking about for this so long, I don't think they have an obvious thing to do. If they attack with both, I have 2 options. I can take 2 from this hotshot mechanic and double block this guy, because this will become a 3/3, which means they can only, it will trade with one of these guys. Normally pretty good, but I also don't want them to have any ninjas or any pump effect for this, so I think what I would do is, well, they considered they had nothing in their hand. So I'm gonna explain still what I would have done if they just didn't do anything pre-combat and attack with both. I simply would block with a Jukai Preserver on the Hotshot Mechanic and with a Trainee on the Shadow Walker, because then that's the same thing as the Trainee trading with the Hotshot Mechanic, me taking no damage, them having no option for ninjas. Of course I have this, you know, lethal counterattack coming, so they would have to have something pretty impressive stuff post-combat, but that would have been my choice. Alright, that's a nice one. Very nice hand. They start with common with spirit, so that's an enchantment or land they're gonna pick up from top 4 cards. And it's a Historian's Wisdom. Okay. At least it only is +1 toughness. Oh, that's nice combination. It's only +1 toughness, so it means that they will still, you know, lose it on the Wanderer's intervention. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of a risk. Hope they attack with the Naturalist. And don't have a way to... Oh, I should have... That was a mistake. They can have a green ninja there. They can have a green ninja in there. I mean, that's... I still haven't gotten used to that stuff. Oh man. That would have been such a punishment. Well, anyway, I should have done that definitely before Declare blockers. Don't autopilot. Here I could play the Subduer because if they play this, it's gonna become a 5-3. And I don't want to block with the... I'd rather block with my 3-2 than the double striker, which can be a lot more useful later in the game. Okay. Let's trade off. Okay, I have an Era of Enlightenment as well, and a Trainee. So they didn't want to go for this. Well, I guess that made not much sense, because why would they make a 5-3 when I have a 3 power blocker there? They're gonna get their card for this. It's very easy to get the card from that thing. So let's do this cry thing as well. Wow, that was basically draw 2 cards. Yep. Yeah, drawing those lands would have been horrible. And these, they choose to make the token here. Do they have a 6-drop here now? Could be. Okay, that's not really a problem. They just... Yeah, that's done and taken care of. And I will block if they attack. I don't have an artifact. I don't have a reason to use the Banishing Slash here now. So I'm just going to attack. If they block, they block. Totally fine. And then I have my double striker here. They do have a first striker, but I will be able to destroy it because it is an enchantment. It doesn't have to be tapped. And that's not really necessarily even what I want to be doing. Of course I can draw multiple things. Oh, now I will kill it. Now I will be killing it. Oh, they can have a Tamiya safekeeping, do they? Master's Rebuke, that works too. I mean, it doesn't work, but it at least does something for them this turn. Don't know if it's anything else. Well, maybe a pump spell, which they knew they won't be doing anything. Does this connect? Yes, it does. Well, they are at 18, and they have 3 cards in hand. I have no relevant cards in hand, but they also might have multiple lands there, who knows. That's the Spirit Realm. We'll get rid of the kid soon. Alright, well that was a very impressive draw there. It will be a 4-4 first striker. That's not easy to block. And this, then I will have the 5/5 also. Okay, that's a sweet deck. They have a double naturalist here. Okay, they have a lot of removal effects. I'm a fool. No, I'm not a fool, actually. I was thinking about if I had a stop in my doorstep, I could have used the channel option there. But the thing is that if I use the exile, first of all it returns at the beginning of end step. I was thinking about getting a benefit from the counter, but even if it exiles returns immediately, this would return as a saga. So now this only exiles. This is not a banishing light. It only exiles creatures and artifacts. And now I'm thinking if it's worth exiling the naturalist there. I can also blink this to make it, do the scry thing, and then eventually it will become a 2/2. But the scry could be valuable. That's what I'm thinking here. They're gonna gain life from this thing, but it's not really important. I think what I'm doing here is I'm not doing anything right now. I let them attack with the naturalist, get them to 2 life. I will put stop on their main phase, so if they don't play anything big, I might do the Hand of Enlightenment thing. Because mostly for the scry. On the other hand, this is a pretty darn good removal spell on anything big they might have. Fine. I'm gonna, because I do have the 5/5 here now. Oh, that's gonna be a nice pump effect for it. And that has vigilance and haste, it has it all. So, yeah, maybe this is better to leave as a trick or a removal spell if they really have something. Wow, Preserver even. I think the Preserver is gonna give the counter to itself though. There's no point making the already threatening creature even more threatening. I'd rather have my stuff, spread the threats, but it seems the opponent is actually just having nothing relevant there. Yeah, they just, that was very weird. They had such an amazingly looking deck, but they just really had nothing there. Double Naturalist. Wisdoms, we are 2 mana spells with that thing around. Wow. And again, a nice one. And I actually haven't seen this a lot in these games. This would have been useful multiple times, but now I have this available, and I can go with the turn 2 Enlightenment into a Blade Blizzard Kitsune. Alright, so the opponent is not having a nonsense start either. That's a really good way to start a game, but at least they didn't have a turn 2 action there. These are random creatures, but they combine well together. I don't need lands. Yeah, let's just make sure I have all the playables. Draw the 3-drop first in case I want to play it. I might actually want to play it here instead of the Bull Kitsune thing. It's not a good blocker though, but I don't need a blocker on the Menace guy. This thing has Defender. Okay. That can be tapped when this thing attacks alone. Sure. Let's go that way. Wonder who should get the counter from this thing. I think this is my next turn play. I'll get my 2/2 first striker, even that could also get the counter. I don't think I want to keep the counter on the Subduer. Okay, that's going to give the counter on itself, but I do have the Wanderer's intervention for that. So I maybe should just try to, get value out of that thing. Could be a bit risky, but I'm gonna try it, because I can play this and the intervention then. This will tap down the archer and this will be a 4-3. I don't expect them to block, but who knows, maybe they might do that. I'm so happy if they do this block. Because now that they are tapped out, this is such a nice one. And now they can't even attack with the Menace guy, because my first strike, I can block it with 2 guys, and the first strike will finish it off. Now, if they have a pump effect, well, scratch that. This is a nice card, but it's still something that's not like too amazing. Okay, that's a death toucher. This can exile stuff, even might choose to exile the death toucher, but now. What is the correct way to do things here? This is a monk, right? Yep. So if I attack with either the exemplar or the subduer, it will get benefit from those attack triggers. I'm not attacking with the exemplar because then it will trade with the road captain. I would have to tap down the Blossom Prancer. So if I do this attack, yeah, I guess I'm willing to trade with the Blossom Prancer. That seems, in fact, it seems quite easy decision here. Maybe I should have been a bit faster. So I can just tap down the archer again, and they can't really block profitably with the captain, and trading with the Blossom Prancer is just fine. That means this thing is now able to block, but I can use my Fade into Antiquity with it. Also, I could give the double striker the extra counter, actually. Also, could give the first striker the extra counter. But I'm gonna do this now, because I might want to even use this as a channel option. I want to see what the opponent plays. Giving these first and double strikers extra. Okay, that's a good one. They get the Blossom Prancer again. Now that is super good value for the opponent. And they have a Reckoner rate. Yeah, they have a good deck. They have definitely a great deck. Look at this. They played such a nice turn here. And they are getting value from this thing. At least I might, draw both of my shrines. I haven't done that yet. It would be super sweet to get to do that. So now my Preserver can do maybe some kind of trickstery here. Because I'm thinking about but then again, I need to kind of want to just exile the Bamboo Grove Archer, but then I don't have the channel mana available. That is the annoying part. I wonder how they block if I just attack with the Kitsune. That is something actually worth checking out, because if they do if they block with everything, I think I get good enough trade here anyway. If they don't block with everything, I might get a nice blowout here. Okay. Well, in that case, let's give these guys some counters. It's maybe not so great because they get the 4-4, which is just gonna trade with the Kitsune, but yeah, that's actually true. I need to find something else to attack past the Prancer. Oh, Twisted Embrace. Jeez. Okay, I'm really having now difficulties beating the opponent. Oh, this is gonna be so tough. I'm gonna lose my double striker, so I should attack with it. I think they might just take the 6 there because they are at 24. Why wouldn't they take the 6? Okay. At least all of these guys are enchantments, so whoever they target with this, I can get rid of the thing here. I'm gonna still do this goes in time because I'll get one thing, and they might choose to, you know, kill it because it's the thing that can actually win the very long game, and this could be a very long game based on how the game has gone. But the value the opponent has gotten here is just amazing. Double Prancer because of the Gloomstreaker. Yeah, that's really good. I really wish they didn't hit such an excellent card there, but yeah, the opponent's deck is, as you can see, really good. There's not a bad card. I mean, you might think that the Bamboo Crow Archer is not that great, but given the amount of value they have in their deck, they don't mind having a you know, a 3/3 blocker for 2 that can also block flyers. So now I'm tapped out, so they have a full. They can decide who they're gonna, you know, who they are going to enchant with that thing. And are they gonna kill my 3/3 first striker or the Ghost in Tai? I thought it was the Ghost in Tai. And now I can at least I can get a 2-for-1 here now. Exile this thing, my first striker will be. They can't block it. They can't trade with it. I mean, they will lose 2 guys if they want to. Oh no, actually they cannot. No, sorry, they can't even block it. Well, they, of course they can, but I mean, they can't trade with it because it has the first strike, of course. So now it's about the draws. Opponent still having 3 cards in hand is really scary, but at least one of them was a land. And currently my 3/3 guy is okay. It was the 4th forest which they needed for that thing. Now this is gonna be a hard mode now. This is gonna be a hard mode. It's also a very quick loss here. So can't even block those without losing both of these. They have menace. These guys have only 1 toughness. Now, Tanuki is actually gonna be able to block those things. So I drew what I needed here, unless they have more removal, because now it's a you know, complete board stall. Because they cannot attack with the menace guys because I have the first striker, and the 6/5 can eat the 4/5s. Wow. Okay. Okay. Yep. I'm saying this is not an early concession. I know now that I can't beat these 4/5s, and they get to kill my Tanuki. Game is over. I just go to the next game. This is annoying. Imagine if one of the planes was a forest. What a good hand this would be. With the Trainee and Master's Rebuke and the Banishing Slash as castables. I don't think I can keep this. Okay, I like this a lot more, but which of the cards is the least useful one? I kinda like the Goshin Tai because yeah, it is. Well, it's a 4/1 out 1/3 vigilance, not great, but in the late game it can be really good. It also gives me the ways to crew this easily, but I mean, I have to lose something, and I don't really feel like losing a forest here. Or the Banishing Slash. I actually have an artifact and an enchantment, but the 3-drop can't be lost either. I mean, this. Am I gonna actually lose the forest and hope that I draw at least 1 land very soon? I need a white for this thing anyway. Okay, I'm gonna actually risk it here now, because if I do draw lands here, it's gonna be great, and it's not like impossible to draw some lands here. But of course now, okay, they have the Kamigawa Don't say that you have time, that the opponent has time to... Why didn't I... I mean, time to get the 5 mana for these 5 different colors if I stumble on my mana, but that's not the case now. I don't... Oh, I put an auto stop there. I was gonna play the hoverback there, but I didn't. That's a little bit awkward because I would have the 2/2 flyer now, which would be attacking right now on this very turn. I'm not gonna block the Yukai Train. I take the 2 there. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Okay, that is a 3rd green source. They are very far away from this thing. Okay, I'm a bit, you know, I should have had this on my battlefield, but opponent isn't really doing much either. And I'm gonna make a token with this thing, of course. Okay, they have the first thing that gives them some other color. Yeah, but yeah, they could be at a lower life total now. I'm making here... The misclick on the turn 2 could really hurt now. They have now 1, 2, 3 colors. Okay, fade is good. This can attack alone by tapping down one of those things. And then I have the mana for the... I guess the Goshintai is still gonna be the play here rather than the hoverbike. I'm not really worrying about them racing here. I mean, I'm winning the race. I'm worried about them finding the colors because this is really gonna be a good one. But maybe because I do have the Banishing Slash for it, they get to exile one of my permanents. Can't block the 2/2 because it becomes a 3/3. Ninja? Oh yeah. Oh man, what a ninja it is. Oh, they get a permanent card to their hand. Oh, not like this. Don't make me lose to rare. And look at this. They got the blue and black here in the same land. Okay. This is they need only 1 blue or black and that's it. And they can even get it with the Tanuk. They had a Springleaf Avenger there. The funny thing here is that they could be at a quite low life total if I had this. I don't know how many attacks could I have made it with it, but at least a couple of attacks. They would be at least at 12 here. The turn when I played this and the turn when I channeled this thing, I could have attacked with the high speed hoverpike. Okay, this is not the worst thing here. I have to get rid of this guy. And the way to do it is this or this. I think it's a touch the Spirit Realm here. Wow. Now if it is the Banishing Slash, then I can play the hoverback. But then again, if I use this, I can make a token from the Goshintai. Okay, fine. But I'm really... I mean, the fact that not only did they have the Avenger, they had this in their graveyard, which they got back, and then they went and played the freaking Dismal Backwater, which was exactly the 2 colors they are missing. Now, this can't tap them at the same time, but this means they are gonna get the Kami War here now. They have now the 5 colors available. That... I mean, and they can actually exile the... Yeah, well, whatever. This is ridiculous. And, well, if something I get to trigger these things both like twice. I don't think it's going to help me, but it's something I can do. Both of them once. The hoverbike here could be just super relevant, but I made the mistake on turn 2 not playing this. It might actually cost me even the game because it being on the battlefield would actually matter a lot. But yeah, let's see, they have 1-1-1-1-1-1. How do I attack? I don't think they're gonna triple block the Goshins I have shared purpose, so I'm gonna do it like this. I think they're gonna double block the subduer. That's a likely thing that can happen. And I do have the Yukai Preserver here. Oh, they actually choose that. Well, in that case, I think there's a better plan for me. I'm gonna use the Preserver this time. On here and I don't know really, I guess here. And I don't know, yeah, the question is why did I put these blockers this way, leave them the 1-1 flyer. I'm total fool here, that's the answer. Now they have a flyer. yeah, they get to exile. Maybe they touch the spirit realm here. Oh, they just don't like my shrine at all. I guess they wanna attack, oh no. Why would they do it? Why? Okay. Now I'm a bit... I don't understand now. Why the shrine was like the least threatening thing there. I have still two answers on this Kamigawa here. Both the exile, fade into antiquity and the banishing slash will work. I'm just figuring out the attacks here. I couldn't tap down the Yukai trainer here. me leaving this alive, but I guess the fact that they chose to exile the shrine is, you know, that was good. So well, I can't attack with this because this will eat it for free. I can't attack for lethal. Maybe the hoverbike can allow me to win in the end. Yeah, I'm gonna just do this. Tap down the trainer here. And do they want to jump block? No, so they didn't attack or block. But now I don't have my shrine anymore. The way to use mana efficiently would actually be... I guess it's... I mean, the fact that I left the artifact alone gives me the option to kill it with the fade into antiquity. Actually, I think this is how it's gonna go around. I'm gonna do this because this allows me to play the high-speed hoverbike finally. Am I going to take the damage here though? Because let's see if they attack with both. I'd much rather tap down a blocker from there. They have a shrine there. They can kill one of my 1-1s. Okay. They can play an additional land. That doesn't do much else. So now of course they're not gonna even attack and I'm not gonna tap down, so they will kill my mana producing thing. But I can play my hoverbike here. Tap down. Is this a lethal? I can tap down. No, it's not exactly. Or maybe it is. I have a 2-2 here. No, I will exile the Goshintai, so I will tap down the Yukai trainee. Okay, so let's see how it goes. This is interesting actually. Very interesting. So fade into antiquity kills this thing. Then I will force them to... I force them to jump block, but it's not quite enough. If I attack with this thing alone, it's... yeah. And I hope they don't have a win on the next turn somehow, but they have to jump block now. And they go down to 1 life. So if they can't give this guy, you know, +4/+4, and I'm still at 3 lands, which is as funny. They gain 3 life there. Now they have even more life, but can they give this 4 more power somehow? What a game. Yeah, they get 4 life. It definitely matters a lot, but nope, no attacks. That's a good sign for me. And well, I mean, I can attack for 4 with this guy alone. Tap this down and have the Icon Exemplar. Sadly, If they have something, then it's not so great. I could just offer the trade too. They're gonna have this 3-3, but it can't attack right away. Tapping down the blocker though is quite sweet. Okay, let's do it like this. It would be nice to play this and get the you know, get the counter on there, but let's try this now. Attack for 4 and tap down the thing here. Because they do have 2 cards in hand, I assume it is something, you know, that deals with something here. Repel the while on that thing. Oh, jeez. So disgusting. Man, did it have to be an instant speed 6-5 blocker? And this is one of the few cards in the format that exiles or destroys enchantments at instant speed. Oh man. Wow, the fact this thing gained them 3 life is so relevant. Well, I have a jump block on this thing. Okay, they get something great from that. Just to land at least. Gains them life though, but okay, I'm definitely taking the 2 from the train. There's no way I can afford anything else. I could, you know, triple block this guy, but that seems really... That seems really bad. That has trample. Jesus. Oh man. This attack as a 4 power creature. I can't attack in the ground now. Yeah, these 6/5s here. Oh man, they got this thing back. That was horrible. I can attack with the hoverback dealing 3, but I don't think I can survive the... Because I can, you know, accrue it. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way I can survive it. I'm the counter attack because I have to tap this thing to make this into a creature, the 2/2. I mean, I have to jump block the Springleaf Avenger and one of these, and then this still tramples over 1,000,000. So how do I even do this? If I play the Tales of Master Says Hero, I have to block 1, 2 and absorb a bunch of damage from this thing. I don't think it's literally possible here. Yeah, they gained 3 life there from this thing. It was super relevant. I had, and now it all comes. I mean, this is I don't get to block it. You know, I lose anyway. This all comes down to the fact that, well, maybe not quite. I mean, I did miss this play on turn 2 because I had the, you know, the auto pass available, and I somehow managed to take my turn before playing this thing. But this was also relevant in the 1 turn when I got to tap there. I got to tap there a thing, so I don't know if they would have been, what would have been their life total now if I played this on turn 2. I think it would have been better for me. But man, it was looking so good before they played to Repel the Wild to get this thing back. Well, anyway, the event was a 4-3. It's not a bad result at all. It was an interesting deck, I think. Just a pretty awkward way to lose that. The opponent also got their... Yeah, I mean, it was basically the rare ninja. The rare ninja was the thing that won them, because it was more than just a little bit value there. That was definitely more than just a little bit. So let's see if there's anything about this deck. It's still in the learning stages of the format, so the Fade into Antiquity seems like an easy main deck card as a 1 copy. And well, there's not much else. This was a pretty, normal deck. Wait a minute. Did I ever draw this card? I played 7 games. I don't recall ever casting this thing or even seeing this in my hand, because this would have been just a winning card, for example, in the last game. Jesus. I never drew it. Huh. Okay, well, the video is not over actually. I claimed the prize here, and this was my draft number 10. The next portion of the video will be my first set completion update for Neon Dynasty, so don't go anywhere. And here is the first set completion update after 10 drafts, which means in this case 5 traditional drafts and 5 premier drafts. Pretty even results actually, as you can see here. Not much any kind of focus on certain win count in either drafts, but of course with 5 drafts of each, you don't expect to see anything too interesting patterns, at least yet. And here are the gem changes that I have been experiencing from both drafts. So minus 500 gems currently in traditional drafts and minus 250 in premier drafts. But for those gems that I have lost, I have won quite a few packs, 18 plus 20, and I've also picked 6 mythic rares totally in the draft portion of the events. And here this is just an informative and maybe interesting graph showing how the gem balance has evolved during this Neon Dynasty draft. So I started actually quite well. Right after my first draft, which was a 3-0, I got to this positive gem, result range plus the, but then I lost 3 drafts pretty nastily, and then went almost down to minus 3000 gems, but then I got some good results, and currently I'm here after 10 drafts. I'm at minus 750 gems, which of course you can see also by just adding these two numbers up here. And also I did collect the information about the vault progress this time, so it's in these 10 drafts I have progressed 11% in the vault. I did not craft any of the commons or uncommons in the set with my wild cards because I wanted to kind of see how the vault progress advances once I start to actually get those full sets of commons and uncommons as well. So this will accelerate the longer the farther I get in the set's lifetime. Alright, and here my current mythics are 26 out of 72, so the set has only 18 mythics, and that times 4 is of course 72, and then I have 77 out of 236 rares. But why would it be so many after 10 drafts? Well, the reason is that I won one of every Neon Dynasty card from Decathlon finals, which I think I have mentioned earlier, but just to remind that I got a very good head start, and currently I have 48 packs. So in addition to these 38 that I have won from the draft events, I also got, of course, some packs from the set mastery, and also the Play Neo code that you could enter to the store and redeem 3 packs with that. So here, if I would open these packs, I would be having an estimated 31 mythic rares, 116 rares, and then some extra wildcards. So I'm already at over 40% set completion thanks to the, getting one of each card. So I started from basically 25% set completion. But it will still take, a few dozen drafts to get to the 100% mythics. Of course, the rares will be complete way before than mythics. I'm actually tracking these wild cards and the vault progress too, which will convert into wild cards once I reach at least 100%, because I'm going to also complete alchemy. There will be Kamigawa New Dynasty related alchemy release. I don't know, maybe like 1 month from now, and I don't yet know how many of those cards will be mythic rares and rares. There will be around 30 cards total there. So I'm going to see if I can actually collect enough wild cards to also craft those, because of course I cannot get those cards from the drafts at all. So that's why I'm tracking these wild cards. Well, not completion, but the collection rate of the wild cards as well. But yeah, this was the first set completion update. The next one will happen after draft number 20, and the next draft will be a traditional draft. I will see you then. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.